In today's episode, to hit the bullseye, the Emergency Response Unit Dozor celebrates its 17th anniversary. Cocaine and heroin, a double blow to the drug mafia. Grenades, explosive and propagandistic reading material, a typical set of items for stashes in the frontline zone. An experienced marksman knows that they need a steady hand, sharp sight and self-control to hit the bullseye. But all of that is not enough in the 10th Separate Response Unit, Dozor. Accuracy is also one of its traits, but not the only one. Only the best get in here. Most candidates are eliminated during preliminary testing. Then come the trials. The 50-kilometer cross-country march in full equipment alone is worth a lot. Whether there is sand or marshes, frost or heat, snow or rain depends on how lucky you are. After that, manipulations with a wooden log or pushing an armored vehicle almost seem like child's play. But that's not it yet. The candidate must be stress-resistant, be able to make quick decisions, and work in a team. Only then he can proudly wear the chevron with the motto of Dozor, with faith and truth. The work of the Special Troops of State Border Guard Service is not easy. They work non-stop. If they have a task, they fulfill it. If not, they train at the shooting range, training grounds, or gym. They respect sports here. If a bodybuilder, a karateka, a martial artist, and a sniper meet in one place, it is not an episode of The Expendables. It is a Dozor team. The Special Border Guard Unit was created 17 years ago. Its troops were being prepared to reinforce difficult areas on the border and to fight organized crime. However, challenges have changed. With the beginning of Russian aggression, the Ukrainian border needed to be both guarded and defended. Troops of the 10th Detachment were some of the first to be deployed in Donbass. We were completely requalified to carry out combat missions in the ATO area. The training routine also changed. It is at the level of the best world standards here. The US helps with improving the combat readiness of the unit. It is not limited to vehicles and equipment.
Training, modular facilities, and equipment. We brought US trainers over to partner with Dozor, and the partnership has been extremely effective.
Ukrainians were trained by instructors of US Border Patrol BORTAC and BORSTAR, as well as US Drug Enforcement Administration FAST. With their help, Dozor studied techniques for night and sea special operations, as well as parachuteless landing. Troops don't just demonstrate their skill in service, they're equally as good as their colleagues from NATO countries at international competitions. Today, Dozor is mastering a new direction – safe boat patrol boats provided by our American partners. They also plan to create attack service dog groups. That requires the appropriate infrastructure. For the 17th anniversary of the unit, a foundation for a new modular campus for troop training was laid.
Already this year, we've given $100,000 worth of equipment and training, and we intend to continue this partnership into the future.
We plan to build a shooting range, a shoot house, and a killer house. The higher the skill of special border detachments, the lower the chances for the bad guys. Dozor works with faith and truth. There are no equals to drug traffickers when it comes to spreading insanity. However, according to experts, drug addiction is voluntary insanity. Some take drugs from desperation, others for new experiences. In the 60s of the past century, drugs weren't considered anything serious at all. For example, the Beatles and Nazareth kept mentioning some expansion of consciousness and new pleasures either from LSD or cocaine. You never know with those musicians. But the romance around it dissipated quickly. According to the UN, over 200,000 people die every year from overdosing. International drug cartels are responsible for these deaths, and now their tentacles are crawling toward us. Pivdenny seaport in Odessa region. Smugglers probably thought, it's so big we can hide anything here, but that's what they thought. Take a look. This cargo has a surprise. According to shipping documents, there is nothing but bananas in here. You don't believe that? You're right. Border guards, together with security service, police, and customs officers, found 220 briquettes of cocaine in this container from Ecuador for a total weight of 257 kilograms. What you see is over 8 million doses of insanity, which would have made crazy profits for the drug traffickers. This is truly one of the largest batches caught by border guards together with other law enforcement agencies this year. However, in just a few days, residents of Kyiv beat this year's record of homicides. Police seized 600 kilograms of heroin in the capital. We are now witnessing intensified counteraction to this phenomenon in all directions and from all law enforcement agencies. Drug cartels are now mourning the loss of both the goods and money. Tens of millions of dollars have missed their pockets. Instead, thousands of people won't get to take this poison. Watch next: grenades, explosive, and propagandistic reading material, a typical set of items for stashes in the frontline zone. Suit as a way of masking what were inventive smugglers hiding in dirty bags. Do you hear this sound? It's the metal detector signal. It means that there is metal under the layer of earth. You shouldn't hope that someone buried a treasure chest here, though, as the metal detector detected something in Donetsk region, near the territory occupied by Russian mercenaries. Compared to 2014, it's not as hot here today. But we can't call the situation in the area of Joint Forces Operation calm either. There has been an increase in the number of cases when border guards, together with other law enforcement agencies, find stashes with weapons, ammunition, and propaganda. The outskirts of Hnutove are located near the humanitarian corridor Novozovsk-Mariupol. The attackers decided to hide their treasures here. 4 cast boosters, also plastic explosives, 2 electric detonators, as well as 5 hand grenades and special booby traps. The sensitive nose of this dog caught the smell of explosives, even under a thick layer of earth. The find was soon confirmed by experts with metal detectors. Such stashes are a frequent occurrence near the occupied territories. Since the beginning of the year, there have been over 60 such cases, which is more than in the same period last year. Law enforcement officers are once again doing dangerous excavations near the demarcation line in the Mariupol area. It is possible that these stashes were intended to be used in destabilization activities in the territory of Ukraine. Those might have been even terrorist attacks. But potential saboteurs relied not just on weapons but also on the power of words. During a search of the home of a Lysychansk resident, border guards, together with the police, expropriated many items of interest for investigating authorities. Among grenades and ammunition, there were also leaflets with unambiguous messages against Ukraine. And this is the Bachivsk checkpoint on the border with Russia. Some fairly unique reading material for supporters of the Russian world was being taken through it. Border guards took the propagandistic literature away purely as evidence. They also suggest reading works of Russian classics instead of Kremlin apologists. A long time ago, someone noticed that there are 3 things one can watch forever: water, fire, and someone working. However, it is very unlikely that drivers of these trucks enjoyed watching others work. At the Porubne checkpoint, they were watching with sadness how contraband was being unloaded from their trucks, one pack after another. It lasted quite a while as border guards removed over 160,000 packs of cigarettes worth 6 million hryvnias from the multi-ton cargo, another record this year. According to the papers, they were transporting coal to Romania. Indeed, the trailers were laden with sacks. They were even generously smeared in soot to look even more believable. During the inspection of the cargo itself, probes were used to discover tobacco products, which were put in the middle of the trailer and covered with charcoal to prevent their detection. It is generally known that charcoal is a profitable business. First investments pay off quickly, with profitability reaching up to 300%. Its exports from Ukraine increase every year, just like the number of kilns that harm the environment, many of which are illegal. To get 1 ton of charcoal, you'd have to burn 2.5 tons of valuable wood. Interesting fact, border guards often find tobacco contraband hidden in this fuel. And finally, it is sometimes possible to find pre-packed charcoal of Romanian production in the Ukrainian trading network. Isn't it our forest coming back? Because Europe takes care of theirs.